Welcome to Design and Style Visibility Stories. Design and Style is a podcast for designers by designers, with co-hosts Dixie Willard from Dixie Willard Design and Rachel Moriarty from Rachel Moriarty Interiors. The Design and Style Visibility Stories are brought to you today by the Design and Style Visibility Lab. The Visibility Lab is the only membership group that focuses on the latest strategies and tools to help you get more visible while showcasing your specific brilliance. We've got weekly online office hours with both of us, monthly topics, in-depth worksheets, and exclusive monthly trainings. Jecks Lea is at the start of her journey as a wellness interior designer and is based in London, the England one. Month by month, she is getting a little more visible, more than ever since the start of 2018.
Thank you for coming on our visibility story.
Thank you for having me.
I have known you since I started my 30-day live. I met you really, really shortly after, because I think it was like mid-challenge that Nick and Luann got together and then started the hashtag IDFB Live Interior Designer Facebook Live. And then it was a group too, and that is where I met you, and I was watching your videos and you were watching my videos, and oh my gosh, when was that? Like, it had to be...
That was 2016?
Yeah, 2015 I think now.
Oh, wow. That's a long
Or is it 2016?
2016, yeah.
Who knows?
I trust it more than I do. So it's just been really cool to watch. I remember your first ones. Oh my gosh. And Dixie remembers my first one, and I promise you, you will never find it anywhere.
Well, that wasn't my first live. My first live, someone else actually had to talk for me.
Wait, what?
Oh.
How did you manage that one?
I was just like, I'm Jessica. That's it. And she was like, she'll just take over. She took over the whole broadcast.
No way. Yeah. And so I really wanted to bring that out, not to like as an embarrassing thing, because I really want to show the arc of where you started. And I mean, some of the fabulous things that have happened through visibility, which it's just been mind blowing. Your first part of 2018. I mean, I'm trying to think of Jessica then, right? Imagining into the future what has just happened this first quarter. So
it's been fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, we also want to share that you are part of not only the Design and Style community, but part of our Visibility Lab. You're one of our Visibility Lab girlies. And yeah, let's talk about your arc a little bit.
Okay. Even though I have nothing to say whatsoever.
The good news is you just have to talk about yourself. So,
Best subject ever.
Exactly.
You should be pretty familiar with it, though.
You know, I've lived with myself a few years.
If you couldn't tell, Jess lives in, where are you?
I'm in sunny, not London.
And it's about 9:00 at night. Are we 9 hours difference right now? So that's why it's dark there and it's light where we are. So thank you for doing this so late at night. I know you're a night owl.
Yeah, my night's just starting.
Yeah, exactly. So what are the ways, why don't you share some of the ways that you were really comfortable? I mean, I am like so proud of how you jumped into Facebook Lives. How are some of the other ways that let's talk about some of the things that also you are like really, like you do vegan design, and you do preservation work. And why don't you share a little bit about that first?
So that's it's my guilty conscience. That's what it is. It all stems down to my guilty conscience, and I spent a lot of my time, especially as my childhood, just watching people, and then like I kind of want to help people, so yeah, that's where it's come from. And I don't mind being a bit different and starting things new, and you know, learning new things, so I can help people. So that's where it really comes from. But as a child, I watched, I think it was Live Aid.
Oh, yes.
I came home and I like watched it at school, and I just cried my eyes out, and I just kept singing the song, and then it was like the more I sang it, the more I hurt.
Yes.
And that's where it kind of stemmed from, that everything I've kind of fell into, because I don't, there's not much I do intentionally. So
Interesting.
I just fall into things, but it also always seems to be the right thing. So it comes from. So that's why I fell into recycling. And I was like, you know, ultra hippie-ish for a bit, because I kind of was in a cult. And then, I fell into conservation, which turned out to be great as well. And I was like, yeah, this is even more my hippie-ish vibes. So, but, and it redeemed myself, because I'm not religious whatsoever, but my nan and most of my family are. So when they discovered I worked for the Church of England, I was like, oh, there's hope.
Oh my gosh, I made everything right with my family after that.
Well, they did think I was like really crazy, so actually, I think they still do. But
Don't everybody's fans
I know
feel that way about them?
Yeah.
I hope so, or else, you know, it's just me and you, Jecks.
Yeah.
I'm always you're a different one, aren't you?
Which, you know, in certain times and in certain, like I know when I was 12 in middle school, I started thrift shopping and wearing like polyester 60s, you know, literally I should have been where you were living. I thought it was like all mod and like Brighton and Vespas and you know what I mean? That sort of like scene. And, you know, I was different and it wasn't a comfortable label when I was 12, but now I've stepped into it. Like you know, I wasn't always like classically beautiful and I didn't like wear what everyone else was wearing. And I always had my hair different and stuff. And it was hard to be different in that time. It felt very awkward. Right. And now I embrace, I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm awkward and different and, you know, very self-expressive.
I was literally the stick thin girl, flat-chested, glasses, huge glasses at the time. I had, my brother broke my teeth, so I actually had, my teeth are actually like that. So it was bad. And I used to wear like big Dr. Martens and long boots, black lipstick.
I can totally see that.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Graveyards, so yeah, I know different.
So, but now with what I loved is when I first got to know you, you were posting photos of you like on the roofs of these old churches, which really got me intrigued. You know, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, what she does is just so big, you know? I was so impressed. And I just thought that was like the coolest way to start like sort of dripping out bits of yourself. And then you would start talking about the work that you do.
Yeah.
And I just really thought that was, and it may have, you know, talking to you now and how you were like, oh, you know, I just kind of flow with it. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it really worked. I think that
intention. Because I'm actually scared of heights. So
which is
as you do.
Amazing.
So amazing. And then my mum saw it, which, you know, she knows what I'm like, and she was like, why are you on top of the roof? I was like, that's my job. That's what I've been doing for the last few years. And then my kids saw it and I was like, what? Like, Mum does that? It's like, yeah, that's what I do. It's like, I've never really told anyone like what I do. Kind of like,
it's hard to tell them. And with the picture, you don't have to, right?
Exactly.
Like, you know, I think I thought that was so cool because I know a lot of people. I remember when you put that, I remember when you posted that picture. That's why I'm bringing it up. I remember, you know, podcasters asking you like, that's what you do? Like, you know, just like all of a sudden the intrigue was there about little quiet Jecks.
Always the quiet ones, isn't it?
It's always the quiet ones. Exactly.
Super quiet.
Yeah. But what I love about you is you always show up. I mean, you may be quiet, but you are always there. That is one thing. And I think that's a lot of people's, you commit to showing up. And that I have to like totally hat tip you for, because even though you are in a totally different country on a way different time zone than everybody else, we hear excuses all the time. You're there when you can be, which we just want to say we're grateful to have you in our realm.
I like showing up. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I want to do it, and I want to do it like wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So, that is me. As much as I am really flexible and fluid in my plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate to tell you, Jecks, but that's being intentional.
I feel a story that Jecks has about herself.
You might want to rethink your non-intentionality part.
So, yeah, things kind of turn up in dreams for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to happen. That's how my life is kind of happening. I knew things were going to happen, and just watching. So it's kind of intentional in a way, but.
It totally is. I mean, that's how I just did an interview about how did I start my Facebook Lives. It was a download. I get them all the time. Poor Dixie is the recipient of, just got a download. I'm sending it to you so I don't forget. Here's another download. Here, our Visibility Warrior course was a download in the shower, the whole course.
I'll wake up and there'll be this long text or message or something going, I had this idea.
Yeah. So I love that, whether it's it could be a daydream. For me, it's the shower or the driving or something like that. Me,
it's always it's my day job. No matter what I'm doing. I'm always writing bits down. One time I did leave a bit of a to-do list in one of the files, and like I deal with like old files back from the 1800s. And then there was this modern note. Handed it me back, but that is me. So.
Yeah, it's all go do a Facebook Live. It's like an 1800s file. When they find it again in another 100 years, they're like, what?
We have a time traveler.
So now, though, you've really stepped it up. You did. How long did you do? You were doing live streams, though, for quite a bit.
Yeah, I was doing it, especially when I was in another group. I was doing a lot of live streaming.
Was it was called Women of Worth?
Women of Worth, yeah. I was doing a lot of live streaming there because I was an admin, and it just got me into the flow. And then I did my finals for my degree, and then I was had to fall off. Yeah. And then, never found my groove, like totally again.
It's hard.
Other grooves.
Other grooves, right? Other opportunities have come up.
Yeah.
And where you've put on the gas. One of those opportunities we'll talk about, because you and I went to a little bit. I tried to go toe to toe with you, but I obviously paled in comparison. You were the better woman.
Thank you.
There was a competition, just so everybody knows, on Facebook from another podcaster, Nick May, who has the Shays Lounge podcast. And his sponsor is Porcelanosa, and they do a trip every year to Spain, and the hashtag is Let's Go to Spain. And so when they first did it, you and I were on the advisory panel too for the Shays Lounge. That's right. I forgot about that bit. And so we were like getting ready to go. Okay, we were like, yeah, let's do it. We were getting ready. We were like sending each other all these GIFs and everything. It was hysterical. And you just went so hard. I was like, I can't even compete with her. Like you did such an amazing job.
Thank you. It was just fun. I think doing competitions, you lose inhibition. So I was just like, look, I'm in it to win it. So
I'm all in. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So I was just having fun with it, and it's a nice experience, because I really should be taking that now to how I promote business, because I just have fun. You saw this year's, I was in bathtubs and all sorts. So.
Oh my gosh! So what Jecks did is year one, you went really, really hard, and you caught the eye of not only Nick May, but you caught the eye of Porcelanosa at that time. You didn't win the trip, but they really wanted you to win the trip. They were so, they loved your effort. I was actually surprised that you didn't win the trip, to be honest. You had gone really hard that year.
I'm kind of glad I didn't, because
you weren't ready, maybe.
Yeah, this year was the year for me. So that's good.
Yeah. So it came up again, and I don't know why I fell off the wagon again. I was gonna take you on again, and you just killed it. You knocked it out of the park. You did. I mean, you were in bathtubs. You were like singing with shower heads.
Put my head down toilets.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah, that is me though. I like to embarrass my kids. So
Yes.
I think we all do.
that's what parenting is for.
Yes.
I feel like whenever your kids were there, were the funniest. Those ones were like even more like extreme.
Mhm.
I get a bit shy on my own, but if someone else is holding the camera and I can embarrass my kids, I'm all in.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That was a good strategy.
They're like, Mom, don't do that. I was like, I'm going to do more. All they do is embarrass me as kids.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Remember that temper tantrum you threw
Mm-hmm.
at the shop? So you didn't officially win the contest because there was a winner. It was based on how many likes you got, points, and how many of this and that. And so there were rules obviously written by lawyers and stuff like that. So you didn't win the official contest, but you did so amazing 2 years in a row. Again, you caught the head of Porcelanosa, and they created a space for you on their trip. So tell us about everything.
That trip was, it was only like literally local because obviously I'm not that far from Spain, but yeah, just the whole opportunity and who I met and the food.
Well, you got to hang out. So let's say you got to hang out with Bobby Berg from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, right? He's the interior designer on there.
And it's just so uber cool. He's literally saved my life a few times on the trip. Once when I fell into a ditch. Great visibility, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And another time I nearly fell down some steps and he was there to catch me both times.
Oh my gosh. I feel like Jecks is one of those people, she needs like a little GPS on her, because I remember a story where you got lost in a candy store or you got left behind.
Yeah, thank God for social media. So I was literally texting everyone, someone please come and get me, I'm lost.
Someone please come and get me.
No one was looking at their phone, and it was only until they took a group picture they was like, oh, where's Jecks?
Oh no.
Again, it's great visibility because from then on, everyone was like, where's Jecks? Where's Jecks? Like, here I am.
Oh.
I was lost one more time, but that's
Well, and clearly you were visible enough that they took the picture and went, wait. Because if you hadn't been, they would have just taken the picture and moved along.
I know.
So, yeah, eventually I was calling. I was like, it's hot heat, so I couldn't even go back inside. That's the only outside was the only way I could get cell reception. And most people, because they're from the States, they couldn't even get their cells to work. So it wasn't good.
Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about what you did. You got there, you stayed at a monastery first, right?
Yeah, that was, it was amazing. I went down, I was like, Mom, you gotta look where I am.
And you were very visible during this trip. We loved, you took Flat Dixie with you. You were doing stories. You were doing lives. You were posting. Like, you were extremely visible.
Yeah, well, once in lifetime opportunity. So, had to take as much as off my phone as well, because that was a lot of storage. I took I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 photos. So
whoa.
A lot to come. So why not? It's not as if I can go back next year. So I was, there to show everything. And
you realize though you now have
me. So I wanted everyone else to experience with me.
Well, now you've set the bar for yourself. So now that you have taken that opportunity and been so visible, now you got to keep it up.
Yeah, I had to have a rest. I had to have a
absolutely.
Yes.
100%. Especially, that's one of the good strategies for us introverts is after going so big like that. You were gone for 6 days, was it?
7 days.
7 days?
Wow. Yeah, and it was 8 for me because I had to leave like 2 or 3 in the morning. And then I was hanging around in the hotel, and everyone was obviously on long flights, like 21 hours, some of them.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, oh, maybe I should just go for a walk. Didn't use a map, as you do. Do you remember what the hotel name was? Went out for a walk.
We need to get a leash or a GPS.
Right. But you were still visible even while you were taking your time off. You were still putting stuff out from your trip, which is we've talked about that before, but that's kind of the whole point, is that you use the times that you go out and are so visible in person to gather all of the stuff that you can come back and just kind of drip out and take the time off you need.
A trade show, because like when you go to a trade show, it's kind of you're so concentrated on business, you don't really get to go live that much. And in the party, I've got a drink in my hands. I'm not trying to hold my phone too.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect opportunity, and everyone was just so nice, and they wanted to join in and everything, and everyone was kind of doing the same. Like Bobby was like forever on his phone, sharing his experience, and that's what Farah Mahi does anyway. So.
Oh yeah, Farah. How do you pronounce the last name?
Mahi.
I had just seen her speak at the Design Bloggers Conference, and she has like millions, 4 million followers or something like that. Yeah, she has million followers on Instagram, and then she has a line, lines at product lines, and she's on HSN, and so you really got to hang out with some big influencers.
And she actually put me on her Insta stories. And my number on Facebook, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. She didn't have to. She was just thanking me for being on the trip with her, and so that was really nice. So visibility.